If you've just been broken up with, watch this video. I remember my ex telling me that her dad abandoned her at 13. He came, dropped her off at her sister's place, and her sister was living with a friend, and her sister was young too. And her mom was strung out on drugs, and she literally had no support system. She had to be her own support system as young as 13. And so I took a lot of pride in showing her that I was going to be the man to stay by her side. I was going to be her support system, and I was going to be that person that finally came through for her, in our relationship. Now, at one point, she sent me an article over her phone that was sort of this poetic explanation of why she was avoidant, or, why avoidants are in general, but it was from the perspective of an avoidant. And, I really sought to understand her. And in an effort to grow closer to her, I printed off that article, I laminated it, and I put it up underneath my glass desktop. So I had it where I could see it, and I made this daily effort to understand who she was and how she worked and be there for her like, the dad that never was, only I was, her boyfriend. Now, long story short, over time, she worked the night shift at her job, and I'm sitting there cooking dinner for her kids, while she's gone, tucking them into bed, reading them nighttime stories. She ends up cheating on me with her boss and other people from work and whatnot. Anyway, on the day that I moved out, I took these articles out from underneath my desk, and I taped them together in like a vertical format, and I taped it to the door behind the door to my room at the time, because I had moved out of her room. And on this laminated article, I wrote, "I tried." Because to me, that article was symbolic of my effort of trying to be there for her like a good partner would in a relationship. But as she was an avoidant, it didn't matter whatever level that I was there for her. It scared her away ultimately. And that gesture that had deep meaning to me, okay, it literally meant nothing to her. And she just kind of gave me some shit for posting it up. And it had no bearing upon my ability to get her back. Now, I want you to know that this time where you're sad, okay, this time of grieving this loss of this relationship, I want you to know that this time is for you. It's time for you to mourn the loss of this thing that was really, really good for you. But if you have hopes of getting this person back, number one, you have to understand that, it's likely that they are an avoidant and they need to go into therapy and fix that. But you also need to understand that appeals to their emotion, like what I did with the article, it doesn't have any level of effectiveness to get them back. Instead, what you have to do is focus on attraction once you get past this period of sadness, and be magnetic to bring them back in as if you were single. Click the link in my profile for help.